Yeah, I know. I don't want to hear it. Trust me, I already know. But I just had to share this because I can't even look at the papers right now. I'm so disgusted. But this is what happens when autism is so heavily stigmatized and men are in positions of power like psychiatry. I don't know what to... He thinks my former psychiatrist, because you do have that power to dismiss anybody from your care team who is not helping you actually figure out what's wrong. He was trying to say that he thinks I have Alzheimer's/dementia. My guy, I wish I could forget. Believe me, I really do. I wish I could forget. But honestly, since I got my allergen test and I've removed those foods from my diet, my memory has improved. How do you explain that one if I have dementia or Alzheimer's? Oh, you can't. Like, what the fork? What are you saying? What are you saying? And then to top it off, he would rather diagnose me with, this is so freaking typical, by the way, in the medical world, where you get medically gaslit. And it was a nice try, sir. But no, I've actually obtained the DSM-5, and I have access to the CDC diagnostic criteria, and I have been systematically going through behavioral disorders, mood disorders, personality disorders, and guess what? I match up with none of them except autism. But you would rather diagnose me with BPD, and narcissistic personality disorder. I wish I had that much of an ego, sir. I wish I thought I was that important that I could manipulate everyone around me. But when a psychiatrist tells you that you, like, when he puts in his notes, first off, that he suspects Alzheimer's, BPD, and oh god, what did I just said it? What the fuck? Like, it's there on the tip of my tongue. Like, I can see it on my head, but words coming out. Yeah, the the narcissistic personality disorder. It's what happens when you disagree with a man. Period. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I wish I had the audacity of a narcissistic person. But I don't. I readily admit when things are my fault. I'm glad when I'm proven wrong sometimes, because then it means something horrible isn't true. You know? I'm able to take no, and I'm able to take a difference of opinion when it's an actual, like, difference of opinion and not just somebody being a jerk. But this is what happened. So I had an appointment with this psychiatrist. Yeah, sorry, I'm just stunned. I'm absolutely stunned, flabbergasted. But I had an appointment with this psychiatrist, and he canceled on me, right? Like the day of, like hours before I was supposed to go see him. Hours. Which, you know, totally destabilized my entire day. Like, just absolutely threw a wrench in everything. And I was like, well, shit, what do I do now? Like, I was geared up. I was in the mindset of this psychiatry appointment, and I was upset by it, but I was like, oh yeah, okay. Like, that's what I said. You go back and check the calls, Mr. Clinic dude, and you'll hear when I'm talking to your receptionist that I was calm. I was just like, oh, okay, great. Like, all right, cool, thanks, bye. And that was it. I hardly see a truly narcissistic person or someone with BPD being that calm and level-headed about a situation, especially unmedicated. Like, there is no way that somebody who actually has BPD, and this is taking away from the people who actually have BPD, you know, like, this is taking away from them, you trying to diagnose me with this. This is taking away from people who need that help. But anyway, so like, I got canceled on, and I was like, alright, cool. And then I told them that the rescheduling that was placed for a town south of where we, you know, usually would meet at the clinic we would usually meet at, and I was like, hey, that's not going to be the greatest, because I'm coming from, you know, the college at that time of day, and it's just not going to, I don't think I'm going to be on time. I might be a little bit late, like later than the allowed late. So if you could just hold the space, I know we'll have a shorter appointment time, you know, but like if you could just hold that space. And I said that like the day it was being rescheduled. I again said it like for the confirmation, you know, where they call you and they're confirming that the appointment's still good. And I was like, hey, might be a bit late. And on the day of, I had a sneaking suspicion, and I was like, you know, I should call ahead. So well before I was actually due to be there, like half an hour to, I think like 36 minutes before, I was calling and I was on the phone, and I was waiting on the phone for a dang long time, because that's, you know, that's unfortunately what happens with clinic calls during the middle of the day or the end of the day. You are unfortunately going to have to wait. But so I was calling and I was on the phone, and I was like, hey, I'm here, and I was not just barely like 15 minutes late, and he marked me as a no call, no show, and I'm like, okay, and I was upset because I was like, no, I don't have the time to reschedule this appointment. You already canceled on me once. Like, yeah, understandably, you were sick. That is okay. It's like the manner in which, like, you were able to cancel on me, and that's totally fine, and I'm supposed to be just chill and zen with it. But me letting you know, not once, not twice, but 3 times, that I was probably going to be late, and you decided to lie on clinic documents that I was late, and then you changed the referral to one to suggest Alzheimer's / dementia, BPD, and narcissistic personality disorder. All because I disagreed with you? Please, sit and spin. Go ahead. I cannot tell you how much you need to stand up for yourselves. Everyone who's watching this, anyone who may or may not be watching this, you need to stand up for yourselves. You have to. I am sorry if anybody ever tries to tell you that you are just straight crazy because you're a woman. You know, you're crazy because you have a difference of opinion. But when you know in your heart of hearts what's going on, and like, if I was going to school for psychology, which I probably should at this point, but if I was going to school for psychology, like, I'd be running circles around this guy. I would. I definitely would. And that's not narcissism. That is, I am fully confident in myself for once, because you know what I've been doing for the past, I don't know, 6 years? I've been figuring things out. I've been figuring things the heck out. I've been figuring myself out. I've been standing up for myself more. I used to be such a meek little mouse, and this is what happens. This is what happens when you disagree with men in positions of power. But like a good little college student, I've been doing my research with medical journals, peer-reviewed articles. You know, I've been on, like I said, the DSM-5 and the CDC website for these disorders. And I've been researching all of them because my right now, my whole thing, my whole special interest is information. It is information. I love information. I love learning new things. I have to learn new things. I have to know about a subject. And when you're in college, and anybody who's in college, or even if you're not, if you're going to be, you know that you either know this or you're going to know this. But when you research for a college paper or a dissertation or anything like that, you have to be thorough. You have to be thorough in your research, and you have to have your works cited, or your bibliography, or all the things. Your research has to be on point. So yeah, no, I know this guy is wrong, but not because I'm afraid of dementia or Alzheimer's. There are things I wish I could forget. I really, truly do. But unfortunately for me, the holes in my memory come from stress, being very allergic to certain foods that cause extreme brain fog, and trauma, PTSD. Unfortunately, it doesn't come from, horrible brain-eating disease. But this guy really, 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 really wants it to be. So I fired him. Because F you, dude, F's in the chat, you're not going to misdiagnose me. That is not something that I'm going to live with, ever.